oi is right. Look, the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast presents a fantasy walkabout. We weren't here last week. We had to take a break, a little bit of scheduling conflict, life getting back to normal a little bit for your host with the most time on his hands. That's myself, Thomas Tipple, FF. And look, we're running out of time a little bit more on a regular basis, but we are going to get back into a normal schedule. Of course, from around the world, we have with us today my mate over here, Tom_Lee92, back with us today. He's going to give us some insight on some true value, a new Aussie slang, and we are just going to mix it up here with the Dynasty Vipers Network, of course. And of course, with us as always, see if I get this right this time, right here, this is Patrick, our HR alpaca, in making sure everything is running swiftly today. Big news came across today in the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast world. And we got to give a shout out individually to our other mate, FF_RTDB. That's Jacob Sanderson. I mean, coming in when we did, starting this from the ground up, it came announced today, now the lead analyst for at Roto Underworld, player profiler. So big ups to Jacob, man. I mean, I remember when I first started to put this group together, he was a must-have. Obviously, if you haven't seen the picture of Jacob and I standing next to each other, it is hilarious as he's a giant and I am tiny. So go check that out. Make sure to stop by Jacob's page, wish him congratulations, or tell him that he sucks. I mean, he'll enjoy both.
Either way.
It'll be a good time. Tell him I sent you if you tell him he sucks. He'll get a good kick out of it. Just all love there. But more news. I said it. I know it's like, oh, it's clickbaity news. Guess what? There is more actual news. Okay. So this Friday, the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast is bringing in Anthony from the Dynasty Drive, and we are going to go full mafioso on the Friday show. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be great. The big news for the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast brand is you can now find us at fulltiltdynasty.com. That's right. Full website for the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast went live a day or two ago. We're still working on it. There's going to be some bumps in the road along the way, but sit tight. We've got our own forum. You can hop in there and pop questions in, start sitting the season, whatever you want in the forum, create conversation, and we're going to get to it. You can contact us directly through the website. You can reach out to us. This includes, filing appeals for the people VRTDB. Whatever you want, you email us, you can contact, you can subscribe, get notified anytime something goes up in the blogs for myself, Jacob, Billy, and Tom Lee. This is big for us, and we're happy to be able to roll that out. Really big news for us, and hope you enjoy it. And we're just going to continue to build. I mean, right? That's what we're doing. That's what we've been doing. We're going to continue to build. So again, that's fulltiltdynasty.com. For everything Full Tilt Dynasty. Very excited to pop that out. And of course, you can still catch us at the Bird app. You can still catch us at the Dynasty Vipers YouTube channel and the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast YouTube channel as well. We are in lots of places and we're growing. So Tom Lee, not a ton of news right now. We're going to move forward. Not a ton of news right now. So we are going to just kind of through that. Let the other shows on this here Twitter app, Bird app, Twitterverse, go through
the monotony of what's out there. Yeah.
Right. All of the news and get through that. So when we come back, we're going to take a minute. We're going to take a quick second, gather a breath, because that was a lot of news we got out there. It was a lot of news. So we're going to come back in a second. When we do, we're going to unveil our new series. We did the value accumulation project. We ran into some scheduling conflicts and some technical conflicts on building the tiers. We're still working on that. We're going to bring that to you in time once we figure all the technical stuff out. Got a little ambitious there, but we'll figure it out. So we're going to take a second. We're going to take our breath, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to do more true value breakdowns. We're going to tell you how we're going to do that. Okay, sit tight. Come on back. Okay, so I know everyone was real hot about Dynasty ADP and startup. And most arguments that I find, it's all about what their value is now. And it's usually found in drafts. Now, remember, Dynasty isn't 1 year. This isn't redraft. So we're going to talk about today a little bit of current true value at the quarterback position as we break down positions and how we're doing and acquiring, accumulating, and putting into practice our true value project. We're going to do positions. So today is quarterbacks. Next week, we haven't really decided. It might be running back, might be tight end, might be DST. Who knows? Scott Fishbowl's here. We're arguing kickers. Maybe we'll do some kicker. Not really. Psh, get that out of here. But my cat's coming and hanging out today again. Yep. Fine. She does that. She's actually probably pissed. I haven't been home much today. So, Tom Lee, we're going to talk about value. We're going to talk about value after the draft. A year or two in. How dodgy is your team?
What have you done to it?
Yeah, exactly, and how to get out of it without murking your entire roster. That's really big. And like I said, we're going to touch a little bit on the draft. So this week we're going to do quarterbacks. Let's talk about in draft. All this information is coming. The ADP is coming from DLF. There she is again, you little sneak. Just hanging out. She'll lay down here in a second. Yeah, boy. Professionals over here. Everything we're using here is coming from DLF. So DLF start off, we're going to talk about tier 1 players. We're going to pick 2 players in this tier and talk about what their value is, where it's at, and how to apply it, give or take. We're going to go tier 1, and we're starting with, and I swear I didn't write this show sheet.
No, this wasn't me.
This was Tom Lee. I know I posted about it today, which, people who took my post seriously.
When don't you post about it?
Just made me really happy. The post was, there's a better argument for Josh Jacobs being the Dynasty RB1 than there is for Lamar Jackson not being a top 5 Dynasty quarterback. So, yeah. It's satire, guys. Come on. I don't.
I'm funny, guys. Don't worry. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on. I got some DMs. I was like, you misread that entire situation. So obviously, your first quarterback we're going to talk about is Lamar Jackson. His current ADP is 4.5. He's a quarterback 4. You have written here guaranteed production, improved weapons. He's got a great floor, better value than Murray and Allen, and more likely to slide in drafts. You want to touch on this? Let's talk about his true value.
So, this kicks on from the value accumulation project, right? We talked about how to spot it, how to identify it, how to organize it. So this is us applying that through different positions. So QB is what we had first. Yeah. And it's from being in drafts. We talk about, yes, drafts are a great opportunity to capitalize on some positional value. And Lamar Jackson is one of those top tier quarterbacks that stands out at the moment as being that. He's sort of died off as being one of the top 3 hot prospects for a lot of people, not for ourselves. We're huge fans. I was surprised to see that he's up to 4.5 as an ADP because I've seen him sliding a lot further in drafts. But this is when you're stuck at that 106, 107 spot. You're going, do I go running back? Do I go wide receiver? How do I be different? What do I do? Do I take Kelsey? What am I doing in Superflex startups? Well, if Lamar Jackson slides to you, you are not going to get this sort of production, this sort of floor from any other players after him. And he can compete easily with the top 4 day in, day out, and it gives you a shot at a good player coming back through. So rather than looking to trade out or trade up from it to try and get one of the top guys, if he presents there as that value, you've just got to take it right now.
Yep. And I think that, people overthink it. I've seen him slide a couple of times. Obviously, each draft is different. And we're not here to tell you, well, in my draft, this is what happened.
And that's it. We're not going to get too attached to the
It's not what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Right. Every draft
is just looking for guys that are sliding, and then if you have that opportunity, go and take it.
In most drafts, there's the guy that loves Lamar Jackson or person that loves Lamar Jackson, and then exactly, they won't let him slide. But then there's everyone else who thinks that, I don't know, his play style won't carry over. He's just not going to be good.
Yeah.
Those are the people that didn't draft him in 2018, didn't draft him in 2019, got absolutely bodied, and then drafted him first overall in startups in 2021 without taking in, regression and how superhuman he was. And now they're bitter about it. That's what I find. Yeah. But sometimes you can let him slide. He's going to slide to 1-6, 1-7, 1-8 in drafts. And this is one of the few times I'd say trade up to get him because you're just not going to get a value in a super flex like that.
And especially right now, we know
because it goes what?
Overdrafted, right?
It's what? Allen or Kyler 1. right? Mahomes, 1.
Yep.
So it's usually what? Mahomes, Kyler, Allen,
Gap. Yeah. Sometimes, so what we're seeing is
McCaffrey.
that's it, right? So the running backs start coming in. Herbert's
Right.
been sliding up there as well. His ADP is above that.
Right. McCaffrey. What up, Husker? Husker's joining us today. So you get like McCaffrey, Taylor is jumping up.
Taylor. Yeah.
Cook, not really Kamara anymore, but then you get like Dak, Herbert, and all of a sudden you're looking at Lamar Jackson at 1.819, and it's just laughable. It's hilariously laughable. So obviously he's the value right now, but you got to look at it. If you're getting him at the 1.3, the 1.4, is he really a value there? That's not his true value. His true value is at 1.6, 1.7. That's where you take him to acquire his true value. You're kind of getting him at chalk value at 1.4, which isn't totally ideal.
Wrong with, right? Like,
no,
if you like that strategy and you like going QB, you can take them at their value. This is what we're about, is looking for what are the opportunities that are likely to present, why, and how do you look for them that aren't just he's next up.
So I wouldn't. This is a situation where if I'm 1.4, I'm trying to move to 1.7. If you're reading the room, which if you listen to the Value Accumulation Project, which you can find on Spotify and the YouTubes, like I said, we always talk about understanding your league and getting into as many conversations as you can. That way you kind of feel the room out. And of course, everyone's going to lie to you. You should be lying too. If you can move back to the 104 to the 107, and like I said, in most leagues, because we're not slaves to the ADP, Lamar Jackson's slipping there. Now you're acquiring true and better value for Lamar Jackson. Next up, we're going to talk about the new hotness in, I guess not new hotness.
This is it.
He was a man on fire last year before his ankle decided to say, see ya for the season. It's Dak Prescott as ADP 5.75 is QB 7. I really don't see that in most drafts, but obviously, as you have written, I'll read it as it is. Production with top 5 pick cost. Production without top 5 pick cost.
Yeah, you're not having to spend top
ADP. You should be, but it is true. I did get him at 106, 107 in the last startup I did.
Yeah, I've seen him 109, 110. Like obviously coming off the injury, people are a little worried about it, but he's not a runner. Yes, that does provide some floor. He can. But an ankle injury that he's had full time to heal. Right. Where the break was, he was fully recovered before the start of the season. So he just glares as a guy who's sliding, who for me is in the top 3 dynasty quarterbacks. Yeah. Again, if you don't rank him that way, if he's not in your tiers that way, then it's not true value to you. But for me, that is the guy I'm targeting for tier 1 prospects if I can get him at the late first.
So I'm going to finish this rundown. Obviously, he's got an awesome offense, great weapons. He's sliding with the running back value shooting up naturally. Injury, like you said, discount. And the defense is awful. Their defense, I know there's defensive variance and everything else. He plays in a piss poor division outside of the football team. Realistically,
which one?
The football team's really good, but everyone else in that division is kind of dog water.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to get opportunities against bad defenses. Their defense is god awful,
and they just keep throwing. Yeah,
exactly. So, and of course, there's the Jacobs out there that believe that Zeke is on the decline. They're not going to run the ball with him 25 times if you're down 25 points. McCarthy's dumb. He's not that dumb. Of course, I say he's dumb, but yet he's coaching an NFL team, and I'm here with my cat and my alpaca and Tom Lee. So obviously the key point, his true value, if you look at difference between Jackson and Dak, his true value is just that, just right where you're picking him. If he's the 7th quarterback off the board and you're going to get top 3 production, that's the league winning quarterback, right? That you're looking for.
That's all the analysis you need. Even if you want to move him on afterwards, that's all you need to know that you're acquiring true value with him. Yeah.
Exactly. I remember last year when he got hurt, I traded Michael Thomas for him.
Yeah.
Straight up. And I was so happy. Well, that was before his injury. Then he got hurt. And I was really bummed about it, and I almost shipped him out for less value. And I was like, no, I'm gonna stick to it. It's Dynasty. Don't overreact, right? We all overreact.
Was that
we all want to
overreact?
Michael
Thomas got hurt.
Oh, he was hurt the whole year. It was before. It was when he was coming back. So
that makes it just the ultimate flex trade.
So when Dak got hurt, Thomas was kind of coming back, and then he
Yeah.
still played like dog do and all that other stuff. Doggy doo doo, as we say over here. And yeah, I made the trade. I felt bad, almost lost it, but now I'm getting even better value for him. We're going to talk about post drafts and deal with all that after.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to deal with that after. We just want to run through these real quick because we got 4 tiers we're going to talk about here. So yeah, you're acquiring his true value. That's top 3 upside as the 7th QB off the board according to DLF right now, and that's true value. That's the guy you want to target. That's what we're talking about. If Lamar Jackson fell there, that's fine. And if you're starting at the 101, the 102, the 103, the 104, that shows that you can trade back in that round and still get that value.
Yeah, I think
running back craze is going to hit in your typical league. So try to remember that. Someone's going to go crazy.
Especially guys that are new to startups. Who aren't confident with trading within a startup, look to trade back. If you get the top 3 pick, don't just pick the guy that's there. You can replace production and pick up extra pieces, and this just clearly identifies why that's the case.
Your hair is wilding me out right now.
It's getting real long. I don't know what's going on with it.
Hilarious. I can't. People who can't watch at home.
This is why you're going to tune into the video, right?
Exactly. Every once in a while, he's like touching his hair, and it's standing straight up, but it's like half balding a little bit, but it like stands up. It's just like it's the best thing. I love it. It's phenomenal. We're going to talk about tier 2, and this pick might be a little weird for some.
Yep.
I know I took him in the Scott Fishbowl because whatever. Tier 2, we're going to talk about Deshaun Watson. Murky. Let's go. We got Sean. I hope I don't mess this name up. I'm so sorry. Sean Goglin. What's up, guys? I had the 102 in my first ever Superflex Dynasty rookie draft. I went with Justin Fields, even though I wasn't crazy about his landing spot. Who are you guys taking at the 102? Really needed a QB. Look.
Yep.
You can go back at the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast and go back and watch our rookie count up where we counted up from 1 through 20. Lance and Fields were back to back. I think Fields was the pre-draft 2. Lance is the pre-draft 3. I know Jacob moved Lance up to 2. I still have Fields as my number 2. His landing spot may not be great on the surface right now, but Nagy won't be there forever.
No, and he's great. I think that's the key.
He's going to provide rushing upside on a team that's defense is probably going to struggle a little bit. They're getting a little older. So the thing is we're looking at that first. Perfect. Sean said I got his name. Perfect. All right. Cheers, mate. Perfect. So, we're looking at Fields not just in the immediate, but in the future because it's Dynasty, not overreacting. Is there a chance that he, busts out of the gate? Maybe.
Yeah.
But if you really needed a QB, I think Fields, he's got good weapons in Mooney, who is like the hot ticket. He's bumping up everywhere. Awesome. Cool. Mooney's great. Allen Robinson is in extension talks. That's great for him.
Yeah.
If you believe in the tight end magic over there, great. They got a decent enough running game. They're working like on the surface, the Bears look like a team you want to avoid, but it's Dynasty. So right now, they're actually a team that you could be acquiring for the next year, 2, 3 years. I think you did a great job picking him. Lance is probably the better chance to bust, but could end up with the higher peak. But don't forget, Fields can run. I think you did great there. First rookie draft, 102. I think you nailed the pick, and that's a good there, Sean. And we got Husker, Lance, and Fields as a coin flip right now. We agree. It's whoever you prefer. We got Chase. What's up, Chase?
What's up, Chase?
Hope your show went great tonight. I wish I could have caught it, but we're doing some construction on the house here, so in between, I gotta get some stuff done. Okay, so back to Deshaun. Now that we answered Sean's question there, ADP 38.75. No derail. We love that.
No, go for it. That's what it's about.
As we mentioned before, you can go to the fulltiltdynasty.com and submit your questions there and chat us up in the forum. You can subscribe to and get all the information you need. I'm going to plug that as much as possible because I love that we have our own website now. But it's fulltiltdynasty.com. Get in there and get in the forum. Start asking those questions. Get the discussion.
Yeah, we'll start a rookie thread. We'll get on it.
Great. I love to hear that, Chase. Great job, man. So ADP 38.75. He's a QB 14 off the board, which is actually a little surprising to me.
It's nuts.
He's obviously he doesn't support win now. You'll never get him cheaper. That's true. Right now, the worst case scenario is looking at a year out of the league.
Yeah, I mean, we're not
Right?
going to dial in on the ethics of it all, right?
Right. We're not.
But
Yeah,
that's realistically the worst outcome. Yeah.
As it's looking right now, that could obviously change. This is why it's a gambler's pick,
Yeah.
which I love. At this value, I mean, he was the 102 before this stuff came out.
Yeah.
He was the number 2 ranked player in Dynasty for the most part. I mean, for most people. Deservedly so. I've never drafted him. Believe it or not, drafting him in the Scott Fish Bowl is the first time I've ever drafted Deshaun Watson. I've stayed away the whole time. Yeah, I don't know. It was like, yeah, exactly. It's weird how it's shaked out for me. But, okay, so you're drafting him now. If he plays, he comes out your Dynasty team, because we're not just talking about 1 year, right? Yeah. It's Dynasty. He comes back on whatever team he's at. Probably, no matter what, it's going to be a better situation than it was in Houston for him, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to come back. That's league winning. You're getting a top tier quarterback at the 38th. We'll call it the 39th.
Yeah, it's in the 4th round.
Like, insane.
Yeah,
that's insanity. It'll never happen again. Imagine Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Okay, he hurt his leg, and all of a sudden you're getting him in the 4th round, or he misses a year. People dog him out. You get like, come on, like,
yeah,
it is insane. I finally turned the corner. I tried to acquire him a little bit, but players were just too sharp. I couldn't get him.
I think the thing we mentioned in the VAP was you're taking pieces because they have value, not because you need them in your roster. Yes, you probably can't play in the start of this year. You can still win now and pick up a Ryan Fitzpatrick later on in the draft. That still works. You've got replaceable production. Whatever happens with him, he's still the most valuable piece on the board at that point. You take it. If
Deshaun Watson is cleared, right, from all this stuff, which, again, that changes whatever. We're not lawyers. You can hit Jacob up for that if you want. That's not me. But for me, if he plays at all this season, that's a steal. That's a win.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the type of league winning, late round quarterback. That's the thing. Fine. Awesome. Great. Deshaun Watson plays at all this year, league winning. Like, that's insane. That's value. You can trade him. You can trade him for 1st round value at that point, because now people will be like, oh, he's back. He's playing. I want him. And again, if you find that person that's hungry for a quarterback, what do I always say, Tom Lee? Being in a super flex and needing a quarterback, it might as well staple a sticky note to your head that says, fuck me, because that's what everyone's going to do. And it's going to be relentless. It's going to be horrific for you. Don't do that. We're going to talk about that.
Sticks out like a sore thumb.
Exactly. So tier 2, Deshaun Watson is at it's not even true value. It's insane value. It goes beyond our true value standpoint. It's just value. And I usually hate using that term overly, but man, the 14th quarterback off the board.
After Justin Fields.
He's in a situation we haven't seen before, really, honestly. So, like, I get it, but yeesh. Okay, tier 3, moving on. We're going to go Ryan Tannehill. This one's crazy to me. 51.25 is his ADP. Again, this is all DLF. The quarterback, 18 off the board. They got 18. Julio Jones. He's a quarterback, 18 off the board. He was the QB 8 last year. He's still young enough in terms of quarterbacks. He's mobile enough. He's extremely efficient. He's on a good offense. He's not the sexy pick, but he's a league-winning pick. Back-to-back years, pretty much, with his values. I can't remember what his startup finished last year. I wish I could have remembered that. So sorry, that's my fault. But back-to-back years, he's been an absolute steal in drafts. And again, they just acquired Night Chase. Y'all enjoy those articles, mate. I sent you something. Check your email. I sent you something. Not an article, but check your email.
Something good.
Exactly. It's nice. It's hot. Yeah, I mean, they just got Julio freaking Jones, which say what you want about him, but he's still a baller. You got AJ Brown. Kudadoodle took him at the 107. And smart call, because Kudadoodle's a great player. She knows what's up, especially in redraft. I understand his dynasty, right? So his age. Oh, it's age. This is where being an ageist can be a problem. Seeing a 32, 33-year-old quarterback, I don't care. He doesn't play like it. He's mobile. Again, you got Derrick Henry. The play action is ridiculous. AJ Brown, unreal. The team is just built to win now, and they're a good team. And that division, he gets to play the Jaguars, the Texans, unfortunately the Colts. He gets to play 4 games
Yeah.
against the Jaguars,
and even against the Colts, like that
Texans.
run game gets up and going. Like he's still productive in those games. Like you're not looking
And
to
they
sit
got
him ever.
Julio Jones. I don't understand why he's the QB 18. This isn't true value. His true value is probably, I'd say, QB 9, QB 10, and you're getting
he's inside top 12. Yeah. He's a QB 1.
So that's league winning. That's the type of player that you're looking for right there. And it's not, we're not giving you any new information, right? You should know this already, but clearly it's still happening. But it's information that you need to look at in a different light. Okay, you might think
it's just identifying, just remind you to keep looking out for. Yeah,
these are the points where you're trading up for these players. You need to be trading up for Ryan Tannehill as a QB 18 off the board.
And that's the difference in strategy. Like, yes, let the draft come to you, but if you know there's a tier break happening, go and seize that opportunity.
Yes.
Like, that's smart value drafting.
Exactly. So we're gonna get into that. Was our tier 3. So recap: tier 1, we talked about Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott. Tier 2 was the Deshaun Watson situation. Tier 3 was a laughable ADP for Ryan Tannehill. Tier 4, it's too bad Chase left because he loves this. He loves this guy. He pounds the table for him all the time. It's Derek Carr, who gets dumped on a lot. He's the 87.75. We'll call it the 88th pick in most drafts. He's a QB 26. If I'm not mistaken, he's never finished lower than QB 20. You have to double check that, but
that's absolutely spot on. Yeah,
he's just constantly right there, and he's not the sexy pick. Don't watch the games. Don't watch Raiders games.
Never.
just check your sleeper or whatever platform you want to fight for this week on Twitter, on the Bird app.
Yeah, take it there.
Don't watch the Raiders games.
Yeah.
Don't watch. You're going to be depressed, horrifically depressed. But at the end of the year, Derek Carr is going to get you that 12 to 18 range at quarterback, and you're getting him right now, according to DLF, as the 26th quarterback off the board. Yeah. That's a trade up value. That's his true value. To me, that's his true value. That's where you want to get him in Dynasty. You don't want to pay too much. You don't want to pay too little. He's right there. He can secure your second and third QB spot. It's just a great, because what are you getting at that point for like running backs and receivers, right? You're getting
nothing for running backs.
The high upside players at those positions are pretty much gone, but people will still draft them because they need to fill the roster. Yeah. And if you listen to the value accumulation project that we did, the 4-part series, we don't care in a startup about filling our roster. If you're walking away with values like Deshaun Watson as a QB 14, Tannehill as a QB 18, you're walking away with Derek Carr as a QB 26, someone's coming and knocking on your door, and you're going to get to, like we talked about, move up a tier at a different position. And that's what's important. That's acquiring the true value. Be that ruthless player.
Plus, if you did that, you'd have 3 rounds of top running back, wide receiver, tight end, whatever you wanted.
Exactly.
You've already locked up your main spots, so you can just go and accumulate multiple options for those guys.
You don't have to go into a draft and say, I'm going to win now, or I'm going to rebuild out of the gate. What is it called? Oh my gosh. There's the
productive struggle.
That's what it's called. Thank you. Read my mind from across the planet. You probably knew because you're in tomorrow already. That joke.
We already had this conversation. Yeah.
I don't care if it's not funny to anyone else. It's funny to me, damn it. Right. So you don't have to be afraid of not having all those players because you don't win your league at the draft anyway. You can walk out of the draft with like the most top tier starting, whatever, let's say 10, and end up 4th. I know because it happened to me last year. Okay. So it's happened to most people. It happens. Stuff happens. Trades, injuries, holdouts, stubbed your toe, pulled hammy, bad run of games. Like it's a cramps, against the Cleveland Browns. I mean, that stuff happens. So Derek Carr right now, his value is true value is right where it is. He's a great. Again, we're going to talk about the post-draft stuff because it gets a little different. It's murky. People who already have him don't want to give him up at that value. We're going to talk about how to get around that, or at least dive into it. Now, for me, I like that you picked this one because again, I didn't write the show sheet. I don't write the show sheet for the show. This is all Tom Lee. I'm just here to host. And he picked.
I'm sorry, fans.
No, yeah. Oh, we have it right here. QB 20, 14, 12, 19, 20, 17, and 14. Only 30 years old for Derek Carr.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk next about Sam Darnold. Where is it? Where is
so excited.
Bang! Sam Darnold
Bang.
QB1 season incoming. Obviously, say what you will. I don't care. I can't hear them haters. Sam Darnold's going to be stomping on them hoes. Look, 88 point, we're going to call it 89 according to DLF. The QB 27 off the board. You're getting, they picked up his option, right? Best situation he's ever had. What's the worst case scenario? Probably what Teddy Bridgewater did. He's going to throw more than what did Bridgewater throw? 11 touchdowns or something silly like that. Like, there's no way this isn't an improvement over what the Panthers have had over the last couple of years. I choose to pick that narrative of he's free from Adam Gase.
So I think this is it, right? So and that argument will happen on Twitter all day, and I like that.
I'm the one making it.
Yeah,
I'm the one making it.
And you're going to see that lots everywhere. But the key for me is, will Sam Darnold finish as a QB 27 or lower? No. Right?
I don't see that being,
With rookies thrown in there, he's got the job for the year. You're going to get at least usable production.
For 2 years. They're
at least,
2
years. No. And so this is the key. So he's young. He's full of upside. It doesn't have to be amazing upside, but everyone took Daniel Jones way above his, recommended ADP and value.
Daniel Jones is not a true value.
So this is your option. Like, you're taking a shot. There's heaps of upside. You're not really losing anything because you've already drafted all the value beforehand.
Yeah.
He just is there to be taken. So
even if you don't like him, flip him. Failure. Daniel Jones is a failure. Gross.
Yeah. So it's just simple. That's the argument for me. Yeah.
Again, when you're getting that late in the draft, who are you drafting instead? Right? Who are you drafting instead there at that spot? Not anyone I want.
It's in the 9th round. Like, you're looking at all your major wide receiver 2s are gone. You're probably looking at like a Will Fuller or something like that.
Yeah, no, thank you. Like, give me that quarterback because they're going to return the most value. Because we only deal in Superflex here because we believe in fun, and single QB leagues are not fun. I'd rather do a super kicker flex than do a 1 QB league. So, think about that one. Just absolutely max out the kicker's points. Just be this ridiculous. Make each field goal worth 10 points or some shit. There you go. I'm gonna run that one by the kicker connoisseur Linda on the Bird app. See what she says. I'm gonna end up getting in a league like that. I just have a feeling. Obviously with Sam Darnold, that's a good value because, again, you don't think he's going to finish 27 or lower. So you're getting him at prices like not where he's going to fit. You can flip him. You can hold him, whatever.
If you
I'm rolling with Sam Darnold over Will Fuller or, it doesn't make sense to me to go any other way. So those are our tiers. We're going to run by them again. It's Lamar and Dak. Lamar's on that teetering point of true value. You need him to slide. Dak right now, bang on true value. Deshaun Watson, league-winning value. If you put aside what you morally believe or don't believe, QB 14 is outrageous. Wasn't that long ago he was the 102. Ryan Tannehill, league-winning. Dynasty startup value right now. League-winning. Unbelievable that he's a QB 18 according to DLF. I hope there's an error there. Can't believe it.
That one in front of the 8's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. And then, of course, Derek Carr and Sam Darnold. Don't watch the games. Just check the box score. And you'll end up happier than you think when you're leaving the draft. And it's easy to poke fun at Darnold. Like, I totally understand. But, yeah, so we're going to go through a little bit quick for time. Post-draft and existing roster situations. This is something that doesn't get talked about a lot at this time of year. What do you do with teams you already have? Dynasty startup ADP conversation is easy, so it's the most talked about. We're going to get through what to do if you're already in the shits with the roster or you just need to make some moves. So I just want to run through some of this quickly here with you, Tom Lee. Targets to acquire and at what cost. You want the true value quarterbacks, some of which we just talked about. Win now QB, but you don't want to get dunked on. I like that. If your team is heavy on talent, I would look by sending a future first-round pick for Derek Carr. I don't agree with Matt Ryan here.
That's fine.
But Tom Brady and Kirk Cousins, and that's totally fine. I mean, you trade a future first-round draft pick, You obviously know what you're going to get. You're going to get that
Yeah.
QB2 spot, which is important, very important, especially in a 6-touchdown league, right? If you're building in a cheaper QB, you can compete in 1 to 3. People like the 3-year window. I don't. I like to whatever. We're not always in a situation to win all the time.
These work for both. Like they're young enough to have appeal in 1, 2, or 3 years' time. They're just good pieces to have in the roster that are affordable.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that in a second. But right now, I just want to talk about why would you send a first-round pick for Derek Carr, Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, and Kirk Cousins on a win?
So in this situation, and again, we don't like to talk about our rosters too much, but there's plenty of win now teams where I cleaned up the league and I've got 2 good quarterbacks. One's older. I don't have a QB3, and it's not that you're nervous, but you're going to have to get one eventually, right? So now, no one wants Matt Ryan because Julio's gone. He's boring as batshit. Like it's just no one's interested in him right now. But if you know your team's going to be good next year and you've got a 22 first sitting there, I'm fine with you sending it for Matt Ryan. It's not going to return you value, but it's going to give you a position that you can't fill later on for less than that price. You're not going to get a starting quarterback. Like I think last year we paid up for Breeze, Philip Rivers, these sort of guys had to pay a high second. Like that was the cost it cost. So if you're doing it now and you know your pick's going to be high because you are pushing to compete, he's the lowest of those guys. But I'm fine with it. If you can get Carr, Brady, or Kirk Cousins for a first, do it.
That should be an instant smash. And maybe the other person doesn't want to get rid of them. And even if you think that team's a contender anyway, try it anyway.
Yeah, throw a third or a second in there. I don't care.
Try it with 2 seconds at first, see how they budge. And if you have to pay up for a first, that's what I'm doing. That's acquiring true what could be league balancing or league winning are those players. Even if they regress a little bit, which I expect Brady to, although, gosh, every time I say that, at least a little bit, right?
And at that price, he's only going to regress to a QB2. Even if he's QB15, he's still value at that price.
Honestly, Cousins, Matt Ryan to me is a complete avoid at all. I've seen his splits without Julio Jones. I don't want to see what a season is like that. But again, that team is doggy doo-doo, dog water.
Yeah,
atrocious.
They got no run game yet.
And they got Kyle the God Pitts. So who knows?
Yeah,
he's obviously going to come in and just be
Julio.
Julio Jones. Yeah, he's just going to be Julio Jones. Come on.
He is. As a Falcons fan, you can see me smiling. That it has to happen. Otherwise, we ruin the draft.
Target share.
So
40% target share.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
According to the Bird app.
Please. For my year.
If you're building and want a cheaper QB to compete in your 1 to 3 year window, it will likely cost you too much value to target any rookie or sophomore quarterbacks.
We talked about Fields and Lance before.
Yes, it's
not going to cost you way too much to go for those guys.
You're looking at 2, 3, I've seen 4 first-round picks. It's just outrageous. You're better. Yeah, you only chance you have with those guys.
Price.
Yes. So McCorkle is one that I like here. This is good. He was going at the 110, the 111, 112.
Yep.
If you listen to the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast, we talked about once we hit this year in drafts, if we're looking to trade out that pick for a first-round pick, you're probably going to have to pay a first with a little bit on top, right?
Yeah.
But that's
why I was happy drafting. Well, I know Cobb and a few of you guys were saying you're happy to trade out for futures, but it's going to cost you that after the draft anyway.
Yes.
So you may as well take McCorkle and just roll with it because
he's
all upside right now.
I didn't know his name was actually McCorkle. I could not believe that I didn't know that. I just thought it was some running joke. It's a hard-hitting analysis that you get from me. This is why I surround myself with super smart people, and I just talk into this microphone.
And if you don't know who McCorkle is,
it's Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Right. Always surround yourself with smarter people than you, so you always have an excuse to miss something.
And an alpaca.
And Patrick the alpaca. God, that it actually, someone finally brought it to my attention. They're like, "What is that?" That's Patrick. He's the HR alpaca. He handles all our bullshit for the people VRTDB and inner company squabbling. He handles it, squashes it. So look, ideally, you'd like to acquire him as part of a tier slide down trade. Kamara for Mixon and Stafford, right? So you want to
so these are some of these guys, right? So we're looking at like Stafford, Tannehill, Mayfield. They're all in that same tier of they're being taken right now at 16, 17, 18 QB off the board. They are not sexy. They are real basic white quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
But they are great for production, great for winning our teams because they give you that floor. And you can't buy them normally without having to pay up a little bit. So if you want younger guys who'll still be on your roster who can still win games for you, then they're the guys I'd start to target. But you don't want to be paying, like I said, firsts and seconds for them because it's going to cost you 2. Like no one's giving up Tannehill for 1 first. It's just not going to happen.
Let's simplify that. Explain what that trade breakdown would be. You're saying you would trade like a Mayfield and a Kamara, or like what kind of trade setup? Because I have it written here. I just want you to kind of
so we talked a little bit in the value accumulation project of these sort of trades. So you want to try and trade down from a top tier asset that you know has kind of peaked in value. I used Kamara in this example. He's probably not going to go up anymore. If anything, people are obviously starting to jump off. But there's also guys that are lower down who can replace their production. So someone like Joe Mixon, who's the same age, we know has a great opportunity to produce similar numbers to Kamara this year, given the offense and where it's headed. So if you can acquire him and then add to fill the gap one of these quarterbacks, because you can't buy them any other way, it's just acquiring true value. Like it is the easiest way to acquire a quarterback is to throw one of them, especially if they're superfluous to the opposition guy's roster, throw them in as an extra piece because that guy wants skill position. That girl wants skill position players to produce. They're not worried about the quarterback. Look to add them to those sort of trades to even it out because people don't know how to value quarterbacks. All they know is how to overvalue them. So they're going to either make you pay straight up value that they understand, which are picks, going to cost you way too much. But if you can lose them in the wish-wash of, a slide down trade, then you'll generally be able to add those pieces, even if it costs you a second back in return.
If you don't know what a slide down trade is, go and listen to the value accumulation project where we break down how to move within tiers for yourself and for your opponents while also acquiring up a tier somewhere else. Very important in Dynasty to be successful. The last topic we're going to do it really quick, is cashing in on QB's offseason value. This is big. If you have a team, you either need to acquire more players or more picks, or you just have league mates that want to jump on the new hotness, right? Old and busted. New hotness for the Men in Black fans out there. I'm just going to start dating myself at this point, right? But you want to cash in. So slide down trades from Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, like you have hard at the moment, obviously, and then Jalen Hurts. Explain that for us quick.
So Jalen Hurts, people are all about in season. If you can find someone who doesn't think that his job security is not great, then it's an opportunity
going to lose it
sell.
to Joe Flacco, the true QB1 in Philly.
Yeah, because people know he's going to give you floor this year. They know he's going to give you production this year, but they don't know what's going to happen in the future. If you get someone who's not concerned about that, then
find the guy that thinks he's the next Lamar Jackson and you sell it to that person. Because there's someone in your league that thinks that way. And remember what you got him for. We're not talking about current draft startups.
Yeah, he's currently the QB 13 off the board.
Right. But chances are you got him in your late second or third round of rookie drafts last season. At that point, now you are trading him away for 2, 3, 4 times value.
Yeah.
And
again, we talked about slide downs. Even think about selling Jalen Hurts to slide back to Tannehill or Stafford and adding something. Like, it's a no-brainer. You get more security, possibly the same amount of production, if not more, and extra value.
Something else on top. Like that is the key. That is the most useful piece of information you're going to get on the show today, because that's where it matters. Look at it that way. In leagues, you don't have to usually, at leagues that have been around a year or two, you don't have to sit there and go, well, he was drafted here in this startup, so I don't want to trade him for less than that in this startup. Your startup's already happened, man. Your rookie draft already happened. You can argue with that. You should be arguing with that. You should be bullshitting your way through all these conversations like we keep saying. Lie. Go and get that player that's a little bit older, Rodgers plus, Tanny plus, Stafford plus. Because even if they do argue, like, well, his ADP is higher, so give me more. Either way, that's the type of player that you want to do. And then cash in on a big gun like Herbert or Burrow. Some people may disagree with this, but I want you to explain it.
This is why we always bring it up. It's controversial, but these are sophomore quarterbacks who, even if you think that their ceiling is QB1, Herbert's currently going as QB4, right? Yeah. And we just said you want to trade back in startups. So the same logic dictates that if you can get multiple pieces, but you can slide down from a Herbert, it's far more valuable to your team than just to keep him, because quarterbacks can only score so many points. He is amazing. I love him. but it's not doing them. He's not doing the most he could be doing for your team. And because of that, I would suggest looking into, can I move him for more value? If not, cool, you get to keep Herbert. Like, that's a great keep. But there's no downside to that. Burrow is different inside the top 10 quarterbacks from an ADP point of view. Will his value go up higher? Possibly. He's in a really tough division. Some guys really love him. So if you can sell him for, like we said, true value, then absolutely look at it. Go for it. If not, again, keep your great quarterback. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep. No, absolutely. You definitely want to always be willing. Never lock yourself into a player. I traded away Patrick Mahomes, right? We talked about that trade a couple weeks ago, whether we're going to do it.
Eventually traded him.
I finally traded him away, and the haul was so worth it. Gosh, what was it off the top of my head? It was
let's go with 4 firsts and a player that in Kirk Cousins.
two 2022 firsts, a 2023 first, Kirk Cousins. I swear there was something else, but I can't remember.
One of those firsts was Edtiion.
Right. So yeah, it was Edtiion, Cousins, and 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
For Patrick Mahomes. Never lock yourself into a player. And I know this is my league and we avoid that, but that's an example. I don't player lock. I'll trade anyone at any time if I feel like I'm getting true value and more.
That's the key.
Yeah. Never be afraid to do that. So that'll do it for today's show. Hope you learned something. Happy to have everyone that came in and asked questions and everything else. Tom Lee, what are your final thoughts for today?
Well, we haven't done the Aussie slang, so we've got to get through that. We've got to make sure we tick it. Yeah, we're going to tick that off. So this week's Aussie slang for you guys out there is fangin'. Right? Fangin'. Fangin apostrophe. Right? Fangin' is the same as chomping at the bit, keen. So for me, the way I was going to try and work it in, but I thought it might derail the show, was that I've been fanging for some more fantasy content. So there we have it. Fanging is the way to go. Eventually, I'm going to put all these together in a little sentence and try to get Tom through it without actually losing him. But I got to run that by Patrick the Alpaca first. Yeah. So, but yes, please use that. Go out there, fanging. I've been fanging to do something. You can also use it as fang me something. So throw me something. Just fang it to me. It's fantastic. Yeah. Yep. You got it.
Fang me.
Yep. Just fang me a durry, mate.
Oi. Fang me something over here. I can just imagine a guy your size, 6'2", 300 pounds. You're at the pub. Yeah, fang me another one.
Yeah, this fang is one of those beers, mate.
Holy fuck. Oh.
That's a good one. I love
for
that.
A giant, like a bunch of, oh my lord, for a play. Whew. Every freaking time. Fangin'. We're fanging over here for some more Aussie slang.
That's it.
You can fang me another one next week.
Oh
my god, fangin'.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's so good. Okay, I've gathered my thoughts here. I can't help but imagine, like, it's such a tough, rigid, hardcore place to live where everything wants to murk you all the time. Snakes are busting in your house. You got to flush before you sit down because spiders might bite you in the butthole. And you guys just come up with the most ridiculous saying, fang me a wobbly. Like, to me, these sentences are just, I can't picture these giant humans
actually
like
happening.
Yourself.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's what comes out. I love it so much. I'm so happy you're here. And for me, of course, if you agree with everything in the show, you got to let us know. I'm actually going to tell you how to do that. If you disagree with anything we said, well, guess what? You can let us know about it too. Do you think you have a guest that you might want us to have on? Well, guess what? You let us know who that is, and we're going to reach out and we're trying to make that happen. You can always catch us over there on Friday with the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast. You can catch that with me, Big Billy FF, and FF_RTDB, now the lead analyst over there for Roto Underworld. Again, congratulations to him. And guess what you can do? You can now go to FullTiltDynasty.com. Get into the forum. Ask us those questions. Post in there. Check out the blogs. Leave a comment. You can subscribe to FullTilt-Dynasty.com. You can get all our videos over there at FullTilt-Dynasty.com. I'm going to keep saying it. You can contact us. If you want to file an appeal for the People v. RTDB, you can do that at FullTilt-Dynasty.com. It's all there. Everything is there. You want start sits, you got questions for the podcast, you want to reach out to one of us for anything, guess what? You can do that at FullTilt-Dynasty.com. Go and get that done. You can subscribe. It's all there in the website. FullTilt-Dynasty.com. Subscribe. Get all the information you need for everything that is Full Tilt Dynasty. I love being able to say it. I'm so proud of us for being able to say it. It may not seem big to others, but it's huge for us, and we're happy to share with everyone. You're going to get exclusive blog content. You may not get these full-length articles that you're seeing, but you're going to get a little bit from us week to week. A little bit different than what you're seeing over there on the Bird app and anywhere else. It'll be exclusive on FullTilt-Dynasty.com. Unbelievable. Tom Lee, another great episode with you, my man. Tune in Friday for Anthony from the Dynasty Drive. Spread love and positivity. There's too much bullshit on the Bird app right now. Miss me with all of it. Do your own thing. Be happy about it. Try the best you can, and if you're not, get some help. It's out there. It's important. Check in on your charities. Check in on your friends. Check in on your family, and you can check back with us. Same bat time, same bat channel, probably. We'll announce it next week. That's it for us. Always remember, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Visit FullTilt-Dynasty.com. See you next time, everybody. See you on Friday. Ciao, everyone.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.